I'm Harvey Smith, the Executive Creative Director for Blacksite. So Blacksite is obviously a first-person perspective shooter, above all else, first and foremost. The most interesting things about it, I think, are our focus on grounded, realistic environments. You know, we knew we had the Area 51 fiction to work with, and in the last game there was a big disaster at Area 51. The site basically melted down. And so we knew we wanted to go back and explore that location. You know, we wanted to let the player rappel down into the ruins of the scientific R&D compound. But we wanted to provide a variety of locations as well. So as a first-person shooter, we want to hit the basics of that, but we wanted to add a few things. We wanted to do co-op through the missions. We wanted to use some of the brilliant stranglehold technology to do massive destructibility.
It's gonna blow! Pierce, you've got tactical. We'll follow your lead.
And then the other feature is the squad. Like, we wanted to provide a lifelike squad that moves around with the player, more or less on autopilot if the player wants, but if the player takes advantage of the squad, telling them what to attack, you know, not just get into and out of vehicles and attack my target, but also flank my target, or repair this, or put a charge on that door and blow up in the door. We wanted squad to be as easy to use as a pistol. I've mentioned that a disaster happened in the last Area 51 game, and the scientific R&D compound itself, you know, 10 stories underground with 50 years worth of secrets, illegal research, that sort of thing, had a meltdown. And we do let the player like rappel down into that and experience that level by level. You know, we didn't want to just put the player in the Area 51 underground complex. So we backed up 2 years prior to an Iraq flashback is how we start the game. And you play Captain Pierce, who is the tactical leader of a Delta Force assassination squad. And you're in Iraq looking for some very bad men, some men who have developed chemical weapons and things like that. And you encounter some things that you didn't expect to encounter. But then a large part of the game takes place in small town environments like the city of Rachel. Again, with a strip of highway, little mini malls, gas stations, wires overhead, telephone poles. There's something powerful about moving through a small town neighborhood and fighting a very strange enemy in that environment. The juxtaposition of those things is very powerful. So then, you know, we also move from small town environments to the base itself. And one of the interesting things about the way people present Area 51 fictionally is that they tend to focus on the underground labs and things like that. And if you've ever been on a military base, I was in the Air Force for 6 years, if you visualize it in a post-apocalypse kind of way, like if you visualize it after a disaster, it would have a very Dawn of the Dead kind of feel, or 28 Days Later feel, you know, where you're moving around in this like manicured, structured, you know, neighborhood, military base kind of environment. You know, empty buildings, empty grocery stores, a flock of birds that rise up down the block, implying that maybe something's moving down there, and you and your squad are leapfrogging through this kind of haunted environment, moving toward Area 51, the scientific complex underground. I really want to make a highly polished, fast-paced shooter with really interesting fiction that's edgy in a dark, kind of small-town environment. You know, that's fascinating to me. There's something cool about that. And so I'm having more fun than I've had at Midway in 2 years.